This is Tari. Welcome to our weekly podcast. Today we are going to talk about inflation around the globe and how a common man should fight it. Joining me is our trading and financial expert Codm, who will share some valuable insights with you guys.
Thank you and glad to be here.
Codm, tell our listeners what inflation is and why it's important to be aware of it.
Absolutely. Inflation refers to the general increase in price of goods and services over time and eroding the purchase power of money. And it's official to be aware of inflation because it affects our everyday lives, from the cost of groceries to house expenses. And now let's jump into some strategies that a common man can use to combat inflation.
That was really helpful. And now tell us what the steps an individual can take to protect themselves from the impact of inflation.
The first step is to ensure that your savings are not sitting idle. Inflation erodes the value of cash over time, so it's essential to invest in assets that have the potential to outpace inflation. Consider diversified inflation options such as stocks, bonds, and real estate, which historically have been showing the ability to generate returns above inflation rates.
That was a valuable advice. Now, what about day-to-day expenses of a common man? How do they manage it?
It's crucial to be mindful of your spending habits. As price rises, it's wise to seek out the value for your money. Comparing prices, looking for the discount or deals, and consider buying in bulk for the items that have a longer shelf of life. Additionally, exploring alternatives, brands, or generic products can help you save money without compromising on quality.
That was a practical approach. What about debt management? Tell us how individuals protect themselves from this menace that creating their life like a living hell.
Managing debt is vital during inflationary period. As price rises, the cost of services debt increases, and paying off high interest rate debt should be priority. Explore ways to refinance loans at lower interest rates to reduce monthly payments, and create a budget and stick to it can also help you prioritize debt repayments and avoid unnecessary borrowing.
Well, that was a pretty much helpful for our listeners. So, any final thoughts on this matter?
Yes, staying informed is key. Inflation is influenced by various factors like government policies, global events, economic indicators. Stay updated with financial news and keep an eye on inflation reports and forecasts. Being proactive and adaptable to your financial decisions will help you to navigate the challenges posed by inflation.
All right, Kutab, thank you for joining us. That was an informative session for our listeners. I hope we will meet again in our next podcast.